Hi guys, welcome to Cappadocia in Turkey. So I've been here the past couple days. First day I got in, I explored the area of Uçisar, which is where I'm staying. I'm actually couch surfing in a cave. So this area is famous for all of these fairy chimneys, they're called. A long time ago, about 4,000 years ago, there were all these volcanic eruptions, and over time a lot of them eroded, but it left basically these like mountain shapes, kind of cone shapes, and the people back then carved homes out of them. So you'll see these windows and doors, and some of them are still being used, like they'll turn them into hotels, or still people will live in them or make whatever out of them, but back in the day a lot of people were living in these. So walked around there a bunch and just like explored, walking through the different old homes and things like that. And there's also a castle there, again like built out of this same formation. So went up to the top where you get the best view of Cappadocia from there. Cappadocia is the region, so there's a lot of different areas within that. Anyways, and then there were actually two Argentinian couch surfers who were staying there before me, so ended up hanging out with them a bunch that day, went with them to the castle. And then later I went to Göreme, which is this other town close by that again has these formations, but it's more, they have more of a town, like restaurants and shops and things. And then right after I got there, bumped into the guys there. So it's known for being a really good place to see the sunset, although it's cloudy, and since I ran into them, they were grabbing a beer. So I just ended up hanging out with them instead. I've been doing a lot more like go with the flow and less of looking up what I should be doing and seeing, and just kind of hanging out more and going with whoever I'm with, just hanging out, going along for the ride. So that was pretty much the first day. And then yesterday was a long day, got to do a lot. So this area is famous for all these hot air balloons. Every day they do them, assuming the weather conditions are good. So early in the morning, if you get up for it, you'll see like tons of hot air balloons, over 100 of them. So I went behind the castle. There was another one of those like rock formations, fairy chimneys, and climbed to the top and got a really good view from there. That was in the morning. And then I did a tour the rest of the day. So we went to this place which is called the Underground City, and a long time ago this used to be part of the East Roman Empire, and back then you weren't allowed to practice religion or anything, and so all the Christians were being persecuted and they were hiding out. Anyways, so I think prior someone else inhabited this underground city, but later the Christians moved in, I want to say. And it's really awesome. It's literally, again, just built out of the same material, volcanic cave stuff, and they've carved out all these tunnels and rooms, and we're living there. So it was really neat getting to explore that area, and you're like crouching through just to get through a lot of these tunnels because they're really small. And then afterwards we went to this area called Ihlara Valley, and also this is another area where Christians were hiding out, like they had homes there and built churches, and there's this river running through, so it's just a nice area to walk through. And we had lunch there also, so that was nice on the water, some more traditional Turkish food. And then after we went to this monastery, again carved out of these same formations, so they're really funky looking. It looks almost like Disney World built out of like rock. Really cool looking. So explored that, and you can see the church and the kitchen and just like all these different things they've carved out of the rock. And then later we went to see, they're known here for turquoise actually, but we went to this place where they make all this different jewelry and work with the stones, and so they were telling us about it. Turquoise actually originally means turquoise, as in Turkish quartz, and that's how you got turquoise. And so got to learn a little bit about that, and also went to stop by Pigeon Valley. So we had seen actually in the other areas we visited, there's these little basically kind of like holes also carved out in the rocks, and you see a bunch of them together. And so they carved these out in the rocks because long ago they were using the pigeons for lots of different things. So they were building these pigeon homes so that they would live there, then they would collect the poop and they would use it for fertilizer, because Apparently it's the second best fertilizer out there, or maybe back then, I don't know what the first is. So you see all of these all over the area really. And they also used the pigeons back then to send messages, and they said they would use the shells, they'd like grind them up and use them in powder to make painting for the churches and things like that, so various things. And lastly, we stopped at this place where they make all this dried fruit and nuts and different things from the area, so we got to try a lot of different things, which was cool. So I was like trying new stuff. So that was the tour. Later on in the evening, went with my host and met up with one of the other Argentinians who was still there because the other had left, and went to this wine bar in Göreme. And there was a couch surfer I had spoken to previously who was playing there. He was playing guitar, so that was a cool area to hang out. And they have the place where you can sit on the ground, like on the cushions and everything, and with the low tables. So had a nice last meal for my last evening in Turkey. Tried some wine. Also finally got some baklava, which was good because I hadn't had it in Turkey yet. So that was my last full day. And then today I just have a few hours really before I fly back to Istanbul, because after that, tonight, late night, I'm actually flying to Colombia for the second half of my world trip. So right now I'm in a place called Love Valley, which is a nicer name than what it probably could have been called. The reason it's called Love Valley is because there's all these rock formations that look like penises. So I guess Love Valley was a better name than Dick Valley. So I'll show you that in a second. Afterwards, we're gonna make one other stop to a village close by, and they also have like other cool rock formations. We'll check that out. And yeah, pretty much after that, head out. So just another thing that I've noticed, so they have all these cafes like all around Turkey where the guys hang out, and it's only the men. A lot of them are retired, but they'll hang out there like all day, a lot of them. And they just drink tea and play cards and dominoes and stuff. And the women are at home taking care of the stuff at home, or they will get together with each other at each other's homes. So it's interesting seeing all these because they're literally just like hanging out there all day. I feel like I would get so bored, but that's what they do. Also saw in Istanbul they had all these auction places where they were auctioning antiques and stuff, so you could peek inside and see all the guys like sitting around doing that as well. All right, let me show you the view before I take off so I can enjoy a little bit more of the area. It's a little cloudy now, but you can see back that way there's again lots of valleys, so that might be Rose Valley actually, I'm not quite sure. But right here is Love Valley, so you can see what I mean about the shapes. Over this way more back there. And then they have like just little cute things here to hang out, looking like the hot air balloons and swings with heart shapes and all that sort of stuff. Anyways, so that's pretty much it for now. Oh, I've also been getting better at my bigleri, it's called, that I got in Greece, so I'm happy about that. Been practicing a lot. Anyways, that's all for now. So next time I talk to you guys, I will be in Bogota, Colombia. Hasta pronto. Bye.